Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing wonderfully well and welcome to our third video in our series of PIMAX 1v1 Dogfight competition. Today we're going to be doing the semi-finals and then it's going to be a bronze, a kind of runner-up final, and then the final, the gold final to win the maximum prize. They're going to be matches 78, 79, 18, 81 I believe. In terms of the semi-finals, the first match will be Scout versus our Signore, and then the second will be Venom in his veritable Mirage versus West. Before we get on with it, any comments from our wonderful organizer Bear?
Yeah, that was a tough quarterfinals that we just witnessed. The semi-finalists certainly deserve their pictures. They showed us things we've never, we couldn't imagine seeing before. Again, we have a mix between some 18s and a Mirage, so it's going to be a fun time.
Roger, first match, Scout versus Signore. Welcoming viewers to the first match of the semi-finals. This first match we have Signore, our very own Signore, versus Scout, and joining us to commentate is Stackhouse. Hello, Stackhouse.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Right, Stackhouse, I'm going to give the go-ahead to the people, but just before we start, we're surprised that we didn't see you enter this competition. We know how big you are into the dogfighting and that, but thank you so much for joining us for the commentating. What are your impressions so far of the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, the competition has been crazy. I mean, some names, you know, there's definitely names that in the dogfight scene kind of we all know of, but even some other names, right, that are kind of new or maybe less familiar. I mean, people putting up really great fights, really, really great shows of knowledge and skill and capability. I mean, this is fantastic seeing it.
Yeah, there we go. Two F-18s, Scout versus Signore. Now, funny enough, Scout has been flying with us in BVR competition, so no stranger to training together, mostly in BVR stuff, but there's always time for cute news. There's the sport.
Here we go, boys.
All right, let's see. So nice level merge here. It'll be interesting to see what people come out the gate on this merge, right? Because when you're in a competition, you know, the theory is one thing, but man, it's different when you actually get to the merge. Who's going to be the aggressor? It's like Signore going for energy here. Scout going for angles up front. Scout already at 380 knots, right? So trying to be the aggressor. Signore looking to really dominate that energy game. Looks like Scissors might already be starting to be forming here.
Ooh, possible angle.
We'll see if it's able to resolve.
Oh, wait, there was hits on Signore. There was hits.
Oh.
Hit. Wow, that was a wake-up call.
There we go. Up front. That's an absolute wake-up call. Scout going down, get some energy. Signore's on the back foot now. Now Signore's thinking, you know, he's gotten a pound of flesh, so we'll see if there's any form of desperation that comes out now, right? And we're starting to kind of see that. Signore's like, you know what? You got me. Let me try to go for you now. And Scout's really hanging on with what he has.
And luckily for Signore, he doesn't appear to have lost anything vital in his jet. But they're coming down at such a rate. Look at the rate they're coming down at.
Oh, yeah. Scout, great transition, getting to the deck at 390 knots. Signore a little bit slower, 340 on the transition, but the turn radii is far apart, so big risk of a head-on here. We really might see a head-on that forms, especially if Signore starts to feel any more desperation.
Oh, Red was pulling there. I'm guessing Red just dumped a bunch of speed.
Red's good. Red's still at 380 here, so he's going to try to keep it up. We'll see. Signore is definitely feeling the pressure. It's kind of creeping in. He's crept down to 360 knots. And we'll see if Scout goes for it again. I think in the next 2 turns or so, Scout's probably going to be going for guns. We'll see if Signore tries to force a head-on and dump all of his energy, or if he just kind of lets it happen, or what.
That's it. That's the solution. That's the solution. And that's it.
Yeah.
Pilot snipe.
There we go.
Well done.
Oh, nice. Scout's been messaging me essentially every morning saying, "Hey, practice, need practice, need practice." So
That's funny.
there's been multiple people like that have been thinking about this tournament. Seeing some folks like Scout make huge progress. Guys like West, I mean, obviously really putting in the hours, even upsetting, kind of known favorites. It just goes to show, like, BFM is one of those things. It's kind of a perishable skill. You got to be putting in the hours all the time to kind of stay at the top.
So, Stackhouse, there's been a little bit of controversy and uproar about the neutral merge, but, I see it as the 100-meter sprint at the Olympics is, there's a starter, on your marks, get set, go type thing. It's a fair start. People can't jump the gun, and it's instant disqualification if you do in Olympics. Speaking of slowness, I am so slow I get lapped in that 100-meter sprint, but nevertheless, what are your feelings about it? I mean, this is open to discussion. It's just so hard to manage he turned too early, he's got an advantage, he doesn't, he does.
I mean, anybody that's been dogfighting for a bit, right? Like, we'll all understand the reason why people dive to the deck. You're kind of removing that turning room from your enemy. But controversy or not, right? That's the rules, right? We're merging level, and that just is what it is. So, if you're the best BFM pilot there is, it doesn't matter if it's a 30,000-foot merge, a 1-foot merge, a 60,000-foot merge. You'll know how to put your jet where it needs to go in order to be successful, right? The issue is that people are used to diving to the deck on servers like our DCS Dogfighters and others. But like anything, you adapt, right? And that's what we're seeing here. So.
Yeah. Look, I wanted this competition was aimed at the public, so I wanted to throw the dogfighters, the dedicated diehard dogfighters, out of their comfort zone, and that force of habit that they've got. If they didn't break it, they actually left the tournament early, unfortunately.
Sure, yeah, and it's something that you have to take. Oh my God!
Wow, really
just
knocked
got
out.
cut in half.
Really knocked out. Fair play. Really well done, guys.
Okie dokie. Signore out, and Scout is our first finalist for the competition. Scout needs to land, and that makes it a 2-0.
Well done.
Awesome job on Scout's part. And just to kind of conclude on that, like I said, right, if you understand the theory of BFM, the components of BFM, whether you're a book guy, you learn by feel, you know where to put your jet to be successful. The merge be damned, right? It doesn't really matter what altitude it is. Yeah, and, it's funny because when you go to comp, right, there's people that prefer to kind of be rate fighters. There's people that want to be those angles fighters. And it's tough. It's tough when you are an efficient rate fighter and you're going against someone who is an equally efficient radius fighter. You're kind of on the back foot to some degree. You're feeling that aggression, especially when, psychologically it's building up. You feel it closing in. Now, the best pilots out there, right? Names that we know, folks like, Rage Infest, Venom, right? Other names, even people here, right? They'll be able to kind of ward off that psychology and to stay firm and to stay disciplined throughout the entire fight. But there absolutely is something to be said about the psychology of, having a nose turning towards you faster than yours is turning towards them.
Right. It's always going to upset you a bit, isn't it?
Absolutely. And will Scout land? Butters the landing. Butter. Venom versus West. Very interesting. Venom definitely an old favorite. Thousands of hours of experience by this point. West comparatively a little bit newer if you compare the hours, but West has definitely been putting in the work. I've seen him in the Dogfight server doing practice for hours and hours at a time.
Roger.
So
he was very aggressive in his previous match. He was very aggressive, so it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see how if West comes out the gate with aggression, or if he's going to be the energy guy. It's nice. Okay, a DACT match, so West is going to be in the 18, Venom in the Mirage. It'll be an interesting fight for sure. I will say Venom's specialty definitely forcing those scissors merges, or those scissors, spirals, all types of scissors types of fights. He's extremely strong in those, and forcing opponents to misjudge turn circle entry. At the same time, West being a more aggressive fighter, we'll see if he opts for the rate or he challenges Venom at kind of, in my view, the Mirage's game. We will see.
Off we go.
All right, let's see. Venom going and building the turning room, turning away.
I don't think I've seen that
unusual, but can be done. It's kind of like maybe a game of chicken. You build a lot of training room. Venom might be inviting West for guns. He might say, you know what, go for it, right? We'll see. Either way, there's going to be Venom right for the reversal.
Yeah.
Right, as we were saying, Venom really good at kind of forcing that geometry and forcing West to react. There's something to be said about being the reactionary fighter versus the one that's kind of dictating the flow. And Venom right now definitely dictating the flow of this fight. Absolutely. Trying to see how West reacts. West at 355 knots. Venom over the top at 320, but he'll have a definite advantage in descent rate. I think Venom here is definitely really being the aggressive fighter, and Wes is kind of observing and reacting a little bit here. But Wes is reacting well. Definitely reacting well.
Yes, I've only seen the Hornet's nose on that Mirage once.
Yep.
So he's certainly not playing as it were. From my point of view, he's not been as aggressive as last time, but he's being a bit more smart. Okay, he's pulling again.
There you have the nerves, right? I mean, you can put it all on the line up front, and Venom's going to see if he can force something here. I don't think Wes is going to be able to follow, at least not as well as he would like to. Offset geometry is definitely forming here. Venom's also a bit slow over the top, 270 knots. With Wes coming over the top at 287 knots over the top. Big turn radii up here. Big turn radii up here. We'll see how this fight kind of plays out. Venom definitely looking to bait into Scissors' fight. Will West figure out the entry? West with a slight overshoot. Venom forcing these Scissors here.
That's where Mirage wants to be.
That's where he wants to be. West going heavy on the lag pursuit. West not taking the bait, trying its best not to take the bait. West really trying to keep this in a pure vertical fight, but going to sink under Venom, and that could be dangerous.
Might be a shot.
Might be a shot here. Venom takes a little head-on shot.
Oh, it's a not.
It looks like they both got a pound of flesh taken.
I think that's
Venom's
the F-18
just shutting down, maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
But the Hornet not well either. Oh, the Hornet's departed controlled flight.
Come on, get it back. Let's see it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think the Hornet. I think that's it. I think that's going to be it for West.
Oh, dearie me.
Will Venom be able to get this back to base? Oh, his engine's still on, actually.
So it was Scotty was saying that the Mirage manages to handle without rudders and wings and noses and things like that.
Yeah, there was a moment in time where the damage model on the Mirage was just chef's kiss. At this point now, I don't know what's happened over, the last year, within the last year. I think we all know what's happened, but as far as specifically, I mean, the Mirage takes quite a bit of damage now. Frankly, I mean, every jet in DCS, there's just some that are worse offenders. But, hey, that's the game. That is what it is.
Yeah, that's a reason to choose the Mirage, I suppose, over F-18.
Yeah,
you get that 50-50.
You might have that opportunity. Venom throws down the gear. A little porpoise. And I think we're going to be fine.
Oh, wow! Oh, no!
Oh!
That was unexpected.
Is he alive? Backbreaking. Absolutely backbreaking.
Did he die?
No, he didn't die. He is...
Wow.
That is 1-0.
That was... Alright.
Okay.
So be it.
Alright, so Wes definitely going to be feeling the pressure up front. Will this change his strategy? Both going oblique, so they're both kind of feeling each other out. Nobody hugely committing to one flow or another. Wes maintaining a bit more energy here. He's going to be 470 knots still in this oblique. Venom at 400 knots getting to the top of his oblique. So Wes definitely trying to maintain his superiority as the rate fighter here. But Venom's still at okay airspeed to do what he wants to do. Venom committing to the radius over the top. He's going to slow down over the top 314 knots, kind of take those angles. But West still remaining in lag. The issue for West is going to be really fighting this descent rate, right? Because
yes,
the Mirage is going to be able to hold on to that altitude way better than the Hornet will. And it's going to require the Hornet to really be disciplined in this rate fight. So like right here, not getting sucked into this reversal. West gets sucked into the reversal. Not a great spot to be for West, but we'll see if Venom makes the shot.
no,
Okay.
didn't fire.
Yep. West building up a lot of additional turning room for Venom, and Venom's going to eat it up here. He's gonna go ahead and say, you know what, fine, I'll take it. He's going to stay as the radius fighter. West sinking below this Mirage. If I'm West, I want to take this to a pure vertical fight as soon as possible. I don't like the situation. I don't like this geometry. You see this Mirage bidding for energy under you, and you know if you sink down, it's not a good spot to be in. And we see that forming right here. Venom's just eating him degree for degree. Degree for degree. Can West get this to the ground and let this neutralize? That's the question. Either way, it could be offset geometry, a potential for head-on shooting if it gets to the ground. West holding on to his altitude at 330 knots. And about now, he's really thinking about the transition. Venom turning inside, inviting him to turn inside, removing turning room. West cannot turn inside of his geometry right now, and West has to build turning room. Venom at the same time, 311 knots. He's a little bit slow compared to West 340. They're both kind of slow, but turn radii building.
Going for a snapshot.
West going for it. West going for it, and we'll see. Okay, so this resolves with West in the deep six, and this is going to test Venom's ability to use defensive BFM.
He is doing.
Maybe it'll test.
He's doing some jinking and yeah.
Good jinx here.
He's catching
West
up.
has to watch his closure.
He's catching.
West cannot sleep on the closure here.
Oh,
Venom, great defensive.
Oh!
He's hit!
But is he
He's
out?
hit.
Is he out? I don't think he's out.
Venom going for the overshoot, kind of the sneaky overshoot.
Didn't fall for it.
And let's see.
That's still an active Mirage. It's a fuel leak, I think. Wow, what a match this is. This is a great match.
Venom's holding on by a thread here. West taking all of these angles back. He's coming back with a vengeance, but Venom's gonna reverse here. Again, West really being a little bit too aggressive on those lead entries, in my view. West being smart and extending, trying to take away that gun solution. There's a little bit of a metagame in the Hornet when you're going against a Mirage, because you know that the Mirage gun sight just isn't there. So if you extend, you know that you're kind of taking away that guy's ability to get that snapshot.
And he only has about 4.5 bullets.
Yeah, Wes has been, when he was behind Venom, he was really squirting it out there. I think you could feel the frustration with his guns.
Oh no, I'm talking about the low ammo count in the Mirage from the start.
Oh yes, absolutely. The Mirage ammo count, that's something that you always got to be concerned about.
You got the fast or the rapid and the len, the slow. I forget the exact French terminology, but do you think
I think you could,
len?
I mean, I'm sure that there's probably some out there. It's not something that I've ever picked up on. I know I get on the jet and I fly the thing, right? You know, I want as many rounds out there as possible, as fast as possible. West being a little bit more cautious here. He's just allowing this geometry to form. He knows he kind of has an advantage here. Venom going to create a geometric problem. Will West be able to solve it? West cannot be too aggressive here. And West is a little bit, he's like, no, I'm not going that lead entry. West is calm on the entry, takes the lag pursuit. Venom just looking to neutralize here. If I'm Venom, I'm thinking, hey, I want to get to neutral. Best thing is neutral and being able to kind of force some different geometry. West is a little bit slower than Venom here, I will say. Venom smoking all kinds of white smoke on my end, at least.
Yes, it must be fuel.
Venom creating another lead entry problem for West. West taking the lag entry, but getting a bit slow. getting a bit slow. He's still thinking about it. Venom has a lot of degrees to win back at this point.
Okay. Possible snipe coming up.
Another lead entry problem here. Will Venom go for the reverse? He does push for the reverse. Venom going high. West going lag. Lag over the top. West is really cautious about getting in front of those
He really
guns
is,
again.
isn't he? He's not committed to scissors, yeah.
And West knows all it takes is one lucky round, especially from those twin 30 mils in the Hornet. And it's not a good place to be in. Venom 300 knots trying to get to transition space, but it feels a little bit like the claws are closing in right now.
Possible shot.
West going for guns. Squirting the guns a little bit.
Good jink.
Venom, great jink, great defensive BFM. West needs to watch his closure.
Oh, I think.
And this is a spot you don't. Oh my God, you don't want to be here with Venom. But Venom's jet shuts off.
Yeah, he got hit.
Oh,
He took a second hit. He took a second. It's fair play. Oh well.
My God.
That's 1-1, isn't it?
that is 1-1.
This is such an aggressive, awesome fight. This one.
West has clawed his way back into this fight.
West,
So dumb.
man, I know exactly where West is right now. His heart is beating out of his chest right now. And West taking no prisoners. West telling Venom how he really feels, giving him some extra guns.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the land yet cube, so he cannot land well. So Venom is
But it's
trying
alive.
to land.
Yeah.
Yeah. West looking down on his quarry. What a great showing by West. A great showing of patience, but also a great showing by Venom. Venom really created some interesting geometric problems for West. I mean, you couldn't see a better show of a Mirage pilot. I mean, by the book, creating interesting problems. West, just a little bit more patient, and frankly, sometimes a little bit of luck. That's sometimes how it works in BFM.
There was some really interesting jinking from the Mirage as well. A lot of shots were foiled by some really perfectly timed jinks as well. Obviously, not all of them, but
Absolutely. And I will say there's something to be said about defensive BFM, because when you, and this is my perspective, when you get to, top 5%, top 3%, you're not actually, believe it or not, you're not doing a lot of defensive BFM. So for some of the best guys, when you end up in that situation, you'll see guys that kind of sleep on jinking. But Venom didn't leave any of that on the table. He really did great defensive BFM.
Round 3, 1-1. Stackers, I'm failing to understand. They were spiraling down together in what to me looked very, very, very neutral. And this is the first one where, and then it ended up with West in such an advantageous position. Behind, I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah, so Venom is essentially trying to ward West off by messing with the ground transition. When you transition from a scissors into an actual rate fight on the deck. When Venom turned inside, he invited West to turn inside of him also and to get slow with him, but West didn't go for it. West held onto his energy, he held onto his rate, and at similar but slightly low air speeds, the Hornet is a significantly better rate fighter than the Mirage. So Venom was a little bit slow at first, and that's really what just kind of crept in, and West just took degree for degree. But we see here a different strategy now. Venom going as a more aggressive angles fighter, letting some turning rim build up. So we'll see how West reacts to this problem that Venom is creating. Venom taking the angles. And West, I do not want to be in West's position right here. Did West black out? West going full defensive now. Yep, West just accepting it. So West knows now this is not a good spot to be in. He's fully committing to defensive BFM. He's extending at speed to create the biggest problem possible. Needed to get out of that maybe a little bit earlier, but if I'm West, I'm not feeling good. Venom automatically creating that offset geometry. And Venom's going to be going for probably a shot opportunity on the other quarter of this circle. But West being smart on it. West is extending in the vertical component, trying to build that turning room between Venom. He is on the back foot angles-wise, but in my view, he just doesn't have enough airspeed to kind of make this work. Venom's going to close in. West will come to 0 before Venom does, in my view. West extending straight, 360 knots. Venom at 300 knots. West needs to probably take this more in the vertical component. West makes a mistake. He decides to go down. He solves the problem for Venom. Venom saying, thank you very much. Taking everything he can. Now Venom is at speed. Now they're at equal speed now. Big mistake on West's part, and he has to rely on his defensive BFM. He's not going to outslow Venom. I'd be very surprised to see that. Venom being patient, sitting in the pocket. And Venom's just sitting there. He knows he has time. He knows he can dictate this fight however he wants. All he has to do is watch his closure. At this point, West isn't going anywhere.
Great place to be in for Venom.
Great place to be. West trying to extend, going to kind of passive play.
Ooh,
and Venom gets some hits.
Snipe.
Some long-range hits.
That's going to be it, right? That's an engine out.
Well, we'll see what the Hornet. The Hornet sometimes has issues of its own with the damage model. For me, it has its fire extinguishing systems. The engines are back up, and the Hornet is back in play. No damage at all. Venom probably cursing under his breath right now. It cost him some energy to take that shot, but their energy's still the same. And West really has to pray to whatever god he prays to that Venom has a very significant relapse in his capabilities here.
Lots of jinking.
Lots of jinking. West needs to pray. Cross his fingers.
Oh, a hit. A hit.
Another hit.
Flaps come off.
Okay. Yep, I see something wrong with the Hornet. West feeling issues with the controls, and Venom just sitting there, kind of happy right now. Venom knows he could probably kind of sit and wait and watch this.
That's very accurate sniping. He just fired like 3 rounds. Really good.
Absolutely. Venom taking a couple other pot shots, very accurate pot shots, I'm sure. And West is really holding on here. West has to pull some kind of magic out of the bag. If West can reconvert this would be probably the biggest upset in BFM that I've ever seen. West going...
There's not much.
West pushing it to vertical. But Venom still has really good airspeed. I don't think West is going to be able to convert this. And in that thin air, the Mirage is actually quite strong in the ability to get its nose down without those big delta wing. Venom sitting inside of his turn radii, not too concerned. Their airspeed is about matched. West at 300 knots, a little bit higher. Venom at 310 knots. West has just the slightest amount of additional energy, but he has problems with his jet. Well, let's see. Venom being patient here, sitting inside of his turn radius, getting a little bit of energy. We're going to see Venom start to get outside of his turn radius right here. You can actually see West's turn radius with the contrails. And Venom just following directly now. Venom says, you know what? Let's get this thing over with.
I think West is going to try and win. I reckon he's going to roll the dice and try and run him out of fuel because he's got nothing else he can do. So he's just keep him out of gun range and hope he runs out of fuel. Still a
West can play the fuel game, but Venom knows about the fuel game, right? So right now we see here Venom on fuel savings, West still on burner. Mm-hmm. Even since we've been talking based off of this, West still on the burner, Venom not saving fuel. There's no way West is going to run him out of fuel. I'm very surprised to see that.
Yeah, so
let's see, Venom saving the whole way.
Fuel settings for the Mirage, 59% fuel in it, and the Hornet has 53% fuel in it. That's been measured, and the numbers donated very kindly of Flankonator from the Dogfight.
Perfect, yeah. Those are very close to our numbers that we have here. I mean, they're only off by probably a couple percent for certain airframes. Venom still saving on the way down here. Venom really watching his closure. He doesn't want to overshoot. And as we see, West still on the burner. If anything, Venom might run West out of fuel.
Yes.
So, Venom still being really patient, staying in that pocket, just wearing on West. And West is exhausted right now mentally. It's tough being in this position because you know at any point it could come. Venom pulling lead, going for something. West doing decent defensive BFM. I mean, frankly, if I'm in West's position, and trust me, I've been in this position against Venom myself, it's a pretty hopeless feeling.
Yeah, there's not much you can do to shake that guy. Oh,
at the same time,
what a snipe! What a snipe!
Wow.
He puts
popped that
two
melon.
bullets out, two bullets out, and just perfectly hits.
Wow. What an ending. Oh, it's not over. I thought he hit him in the head.
Yeah,
he's still going.
Yeah, if he was in the head, unfortunately.
The Hornet. Oh my goodness. And as we see, I mean, the damage models for these jets are just interesting to say the least. Twin 30 mils to a Flickish jet. West at 580 knots. Venom trailing behind 540 knots. Still saving on fuel. Venom. West starts to kind of think about fuel savings. And this is, in my opinion, the difference between, I'll say, a very, very good pilot and some of the best pilots. While West has put in a ton of work, you can't substitute the extra thousands of hours that Venom has. Venom's already thinking up front about fuel savings.
Cap, for the record, of those lists that Stackhouse just called up, I'm not on either of them.
You're not very, very good, and you're not excellent.
That's it. Yep. I'm not.
Join the club there.
I try to make 3 circles, and they don't know what I'm doing.
Well, you know, we see that a lot in the Dogfight community, right? People of all skill levels. But the thing with BFM, the skill floor, or the skill floor is quite low. The skill ceiling, though, my goodness, it's infinite. Doesn't matter how good you are, there is always someone that will eat your lunch. Trust me when I say it.
This feels like one of the longest fights we've had.
Oh, it's definitely a long fight. Wes really extending it. He's missing, for me at least, my God, he's missing a vertical stabilizer. I don't even... Wow.
There's an elevator missing. There's a stab.
Elevator missing, vertical stabilizer. I don't know. Maybe a fuel leak. I mean, there looks to be holes everywhere in this jet.
He's just reducing drag, guys. We must get some extra knots.
Yeah, just getting some extra knots. Venom's still fuel saving and ammo saving. Venom's definitely thinking about ammo here, ammo economy. He doesn't want to run out of ammo. That's why you see just Venom squirting out a couple rounds at a time. West takes it pure vertical, 450 knots. Venom at 400 knots. It could be an interesting, if West stayed in pure vertical, it could be interesting if he didn't depart. But without that vertical stab, I don't know. Venom really saving on fuel now. 240 knots up here with West. West at 400 knots with problems. Right here, this could, frankly, in a perfect world, if West took it more vertical, it could go to him, but will they have enough fuel? I don't think so.
No. You know what Venom needs right now is a Fox 2.
Venom could definitely use a Fox 2 right now. Venom sitting happy inside of his turn radius. And West starts taking angles back. West coming down. Maybe I would have built a little bit more turning room to avoid this right here. Venom's really welcoming him in. And Venom's still sitting happy, just sitting there, fuel savings. Now, if you're West, right, you want to see this and you want to say, well, you know what? Let's create some more turning room. Let's go a little bit more vertical and come right down. West coming down with a lot of airspeed, 330 knots, hitting the burner. Venom, no burner. West has to be coming down on fuel now. I mean, any second now.
Cannot believe his fuel is still going.
I really can't either. Venom still saving fuel. And West still on the burner. Still on the burner. Venom still saving fuel. Venom's like, you know what? Go ahead and pull lead, see what happens. In this descent fight. And West cannot really win this descent fight against a Mirage. He's already won the radius. He's already slower. He's inside of his turn radius. West still coming down. 176 knots versus Venom's 119. And the West just sitting on the Flickus limit here. But you're going to see this. West sitting on the Flickus limit, he's going to start sinking ever so slowly. And we see this, West converting lag, pure lead, but he has to sink in front of him to do it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh!
And he
Jesus.
finishes.
Well done. What a brilliant fight, guys.
Puts
Brilliant fight.
Venom into the finals. Up next, we're going to have Shane. We'll give West a little bit of a break, but it'll be West versus Signore in the bronze final, playing for third place. And straight after that, we will have the gold final.
Welcome back, viewers. Time for the bronze final. The runners-up final is going to be Signore, F18, and West, wherever he is, in F18. Ooh, who's your money on?
Who's my money on? I don't know. I mean, on one hand, just by virtue of getting here, right, they're both obviously very talented pilots. Mm-hmm. West just had a very tiring fight, and mentally he might not be 100% there. I know for me, when I've had, really devastating losses, the last thing I'm thinking of is being at the top of my game for the next fight. There's just something mentally about coming down that hill. And Signore, perhaps feeling like he has something to prove. Who knows? I don't know. So West coming just off of a fight. Signore's had some time. He's probably also had some time to watch West and to see, how he flies, how the fight flows, and to maybe come up with a plan, right? Start thinking about what he's going to be doing off the first merge or as the merge continues. I want to say that West is probably going to be the favorite here.
I agree.
But at the same time, I've seen bigger upsets.
Of course. Maybe. I mean, West just coming off the loss could maybe affect him a little bit. I think he's very young, so it's as in potentially under 18, which is not
okay.
Like 17-year-old.
Okay.
Somebody maybe in chat can find. It doesn't matter.
West turning away really quick. I will say one of them, I think it was West, actually entered the merge at 570 knots. Signore, I want to say, entered at 470. So West had a 100 knot advantage. Absolutely significant.
Oh!
Some hits on the wing.
Pulled so hard.
Absolutely. Signore, now I would imagine Signore is a little bit mad now. He's saying, you know what? You hit me. Now it's my turn. West still coming in for his guns, though.
Oh,
head-on shot. Oh, and West. Is West dead?
I think so.
I think West is dead.
He got several rounds hit him.
Departed, or if he is.
He's departed.
Oh, West is a goner. There's West is a goner. Signore, does he still have control?
If Signore has enough control, that is a
my goodness
fantastic start for Signore.
Just as Stackhouse was saying, Signore must be getting frustrated and wants to pull the paddle, and he did pull the paddle. Oh look, he's missing a control surface.
Yeah. It's optional in this jet. It's optional.
Yeah, he just needs to take it easy.
This is the risk, guys, when you have turning room building like that, right? Especially with one person as aggressive, especially in a competition. You can expect, if you hit the other guy, expect him to have something to say about it. Very rarely are they not going to turn back in and say, you know what, have some from me. And it's risky, because this is what happens. In my view, West could have been patient. He could have sat on that. He was already in an advantageous, energetic position. And he turned back in for the second head-on. And you know what happened? He got his grape blown up. This is what happens. This is the risk of head-ons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Signore sitting happy. Will he be able to put it down in one piece? Or I guess in a couple pieces.
Yeah, the others are over there somewhere.
The best start Signore could ask for, and opting to skip that warm-up round that he likes to usually go with.
Yes.
And maybe this is the better approach, Mr. Signore.
Hey, Signore is coming off of a high right now, right? So you got to win it, especially when you're clawing back, when you're taking damage and you feel like, oh, I'm on the back foot. and then you go to a win. Signore is on a high. And West right now, psychologically, right? He just had what's undoubtedly a very frustrating loss to Venom, a feeling of hopelessness, right? Just not being able to shake some guy, getting the first hits this round, and then losing in spectacular fashion, getting cut in half to Signore's response. Psychologically, man, if I'm West, I'm getting a little bit hot in the seat right now. There's something to say about that.
Well, competition pressure. This is an event, and the pilots just got to suck it up and do what they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what they merge at. 480 knots versus 580 knot merge. West has 100 knot surplus on Signore. And despite that, West still takes the angles fight. He has 100 knots up front, and he still takes angles up front. And is West going for reversal? West going for reversal. He is tired of this. West says, you know what? Let's end this thing right now. Signore going lag pursuit. 300 knots vertical. West, a little bid for energy here. By all intents and purposes, what West did, I'd argue, is an error in itself, but Signore not reacting to it well. Signore gets hit!
Oh, did he?
And he's on fire.
Oh, no!
Right engine on fire. We'll see if it's optional. It might be optional engine. Signore regaining control. The engine's out. Hornet fire suppression system is active. I think he might be done. The engine's still on? No.
Yeah.
That's it. West says, you know what?
That'll do.
This fight's
Oh,
over.
right. No, West is not taking prisoners in that round, that's for sure.
No prisoners taken. West looking to end it
Good.
quickly.
I'm back, Mr. West. He doesn't take too much time in the corner. He's like, no, I'm out of here. This out.
Absolutely. Signore's pilot shaking around and going to the ground, and now he's a pancake. West even trying to get to the ground quickly. West's like, you know what? I'm going to put a bet here. You guys want to bet? I'm betting here. West is going to come out of the gates firing on the next merge. He's going to finish this thing.
Yeah, I get the feeling. He's a very spunky young man. Really goes for it.
Yeah.
West
I don't know.
Mustn't
What does
touch
chat
down
think?
early. Must not
Let's
touch
see
down
what-
early. He's touching down early.
Oh!
The rules.
Oh, no!
What happened?
If you look at F10, he touched down before this way. The rule is.
So what happened?
Take off.
The loss?
Take off again.
Actually, he's gonna get the round, but it's 1-1.
1-1.
All right.
Ooh,
But,
these matches.
If you have a look at his mark, he landed short.
And I even warned them. I said, guys, remember the runway's shorter.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. I see Cindermass in chat saying head-on shots are 50-50, and I agree with that. But I will say there is one thing that Ace has said, which I think really resonates with me. I think a lot of top BFM guys will recognize this. While head-on shots are 50-50, in my experience, the more desperate pilot wins. There's something about it. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's like a 51-49
Pushing the button
type
harder.
of situation. Yeah, pushing the button harder. All right, Signore, 470 knots. West, 580 knots. West going lag pursuit at the top. Signore looks like he might be pulling a little bit of lead. West saying, you know what? He's going to come over the top here. 300 knots over the top. And the head-on!
It's over.
And West gets it.
Or is it?
That
Or
was
is it?
exactly your prediction,
Or is
Stackhouse.
it?
Well done.
Oh, did you look at that? There's something about psychology. Psychology is part of the fight. Told you, West would
Yeah.
come out of the gates firing, and you see it right there.
Wow.
Excellent.
Finish him. Wow.
All
right.
Nostradamus in the house.
Well done, West. Well deserved.
Let's see if it lands in the right place this time.
Rage Infest says bigger prey, greater spray. Absolutely. There's just, it's like they modify their gun somehow. West trying to put it down quickly. There is something to be said about the visceral nature of 18 fights. The 18 has the potential to do that. If you get a good pilot that has good aim and they want to end the fight quickly, you can always point your nose where you want to. Up until you can. Signore giving his salutations in chat. Signore, awesome fight. Signore saying, glad I could at least go 3 rounds. Signore, you did awesome, man. Great job. You did a great job.
Welcome back, viewers. We are on match 82 of the competition. Imagine poor old Bear having to do 82 matches. Absolutely amazing. And it's the final.
Goodness.
It is... Yeah, hello, Bear. I'm just calling it in. Scout versus Venom. Mirage versus Hornet. Ready whenever you are, Bear.
Good. Cap, sending the message to them to go.
Roger, place your bets, guys. So hard to know.
I mean, Venom's probably, by name alone, going to be the crowd favorite. Definitely is going to be over Scout, and it is arguable, the better aircraft. So we'll see what that converts to. Either way, I'm sure both of their nerves are going. All right, Scout coming in 430 knots and gaining. Venom already at 530. They're both coming in fast.
Lots of adrenaline going now.
Lots of adrenaline. All right, Scout merging 530, Venom 576, holding on a little bit of excess energy. They go for a 1 circle. Scout choosing to be more aggressive here.
No angle.
All right, we'll see how this continues. Interesting geometry. All right, Venom choosing to push this into to a 2 circle. Venom 400 knots, Scout 300. Scout taking the angles up front, soaking them up front, putting Venom on the back foot.
Good chink.
Welcomes him downwards. Venom now going for a reversal over the top. Scout does not want to be under Venom. Scout, let's see if he does the correct move here. Scout, 250 knots here. Scout turning away, creating turning room.
Oh, jeez.
My goodness. All right, Scout choosing to fight this in the slows right now.
Venom
Gets the guns.
Fair play. Well won.
Got opportunity. Is there some damage on? No.
Crystal clear.
Lovely shot, Venom. Well done, Scout.
Got some work to do for the next round.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was top notch, that was.
So Scout tried to force that fight into the slows, right? Because Scout knows that the Mirage fights not as effectively in slow speed compared to the Hornet. The issue that Scout didn't take into account, I would imagine, is that Venom entered 70 knots faster than him. So Venom already had the energy advantage, and when it came time to get to the slows, he kind of sealed his own fate because Venom was already the more energetic fighter.
But you cannot correlate the speed of the merge into having an advantage unless you're doing something specific.
Well, you can. I mean, think about it, right? Think if you. I'm going to make this very simple. You enter a drag race, right? But at the point that you start, one guy is going at 100 kilometers an hour and the other's going at 20 kilometers an hour. Everything past that turn, the initial entrance is going to be based off of what they entered with. Now, each pilot can misuse that energy. They can make mistakes. They could throw it away. But make no mistake, that energy was there. And Venom's ability to close the door on Scout and to cut him in half was, at least in part, due to the fact that he had more energy at the initial merge.
So are you saying at the end of the day that the faster you merge, the better?
Well, no. I mean, I can't break it down as simply say, if you merge faster, then it's better. Yeah. You have a currency in the form of energy. And if you enter a fight with more energy, you have options, right? That's not to say that the other guy doesn't have options. His fight flow might be based upon having lower energy than you, being the angles fighter, right? That can absolutely be his fight flow. But one of them misused their energy, right? And that's Scout. He misused his energy and he misread Venom's energy. Both of those combined is going to result in defeat here.
Yeah.
Scout having 400 knots over the top at the bottom, 440. Venom 400 knots over the top. We'll see what he gets down to. Venom maintaining this in pure vertical, welcoming Scout into some form of gun solution. Scout 330 over the top. Scout taking the angles up front. Venom probably not too phased by it right now at this moment in time. Scout pulling for it, taking more and more angles, leaning on that Flickus, that AOA. Venom being patient, 370 knots, building some turning room, maintaining the horizontal fight though. Scout 267 knots, under Venom at 325. Remember here, Venom's going to have a better descent rate, and he's going to turn inside and slow down. All right, Scout 280 knots turns away.
It's done.
Cut in half.
It's
We have it.
Well won.
Dogfight 1v1 champion is Venom for 2024.
Well done, guys. 96
Well
guys
done.
started, 84 flew, down to 32, down to 16, down to 8, down to 4, and then down to 1. In a Mirage 2000, I never would have guessed it. And what a great win that was, guys. Like, no ambiguity there, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely a great showing on Venom's part. I mean, just a masterclass on flying the Mirage, getting every degree you can out of it.
Yeah, there we go. Well done, Scout. That was great. Cap, should we do a very quick
Yes.
2 minutes with? Do you want just the winner or the
Bring them
top two?
both in, both just as important to listen to.
All right. Okay, I'm going to do such. Let's wait for Venom to land, but we could start with third place, Mr. West. What do you call him? West is needed and.
All right. So Wes, you came off of what must have been a very frustrating defeat from Venom, I can imagine. But then you come into Signore. Take me through your thoughts on that first merge when you see that you hit Signore. What are you thinking there? What's going through your mind?
Well, I knew I was gonna die because, of course, I lost a wing and I G-locked. I hit him and I was hoping that maybe he would run out of fuel or maybe snap his wing if I damage his wing.
Okay.
So he wouldn't
Yeah.
land. Maybe it'll be a draw.
Okay. And Signore, what about you? So Wes gets some hits in, right? Where's your mind go?
At that point, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna try to pull for everything when we were closing on that merge, and I think I just got the lucky head on there.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely the least experienced out of the top 4 in terms of just pure dogfighting. So I was glad that I at least just took one round. But it was a pleasure. And
Yeah.
got a lot to learn.
Every round
Yeah.
is a learning experience in BFM. It doesn't matter how new or how senior you are, you can always learn.
Totally.
Wes, you're coming into the second round into what I'm sure, you came off of a frustrating defeat with Venom, and then you get some hits, and then you get cut down in the first round. Take me into what you're thinking for round 2, right? How are you approaching this fight?
I never really enjoyed add-ons because I was never really good at them. So I was thinking maybe I'd just stick to the 2 circle and try my best to outrate him,
Yeah.
which is what I
Did
tried
you-
my best to do.
Did you have any strategy relating to the entry speed? Because typically you entered the merge at about 100 knots faster than Signore. Were you trying to do that, or was that just how it worked out?
I mean, if I enter with an energy advantage, I can go vertical and I can end up with more energy higher up than him.
And Signore, were you choosing to enter with lower energy, or did it just work out that way?
No, I was actually trying to see how fast West was going based on our closure, and I was just trying to match it because I wasn't sure what his strategy was, like if he was going faster or going slower. This is what I mean about less experience. So I was kind of just like, all right, do what he does. But now that you say he was 100 knots faster, that makes sense why I lost the rate fight and was kind of in a lower energy state by the end of it. So yeah, I hindsight, I wish I would have merged faster now. But yeah.
That's fair. Well, okay, Signore has hindsight. Wes, what about your hindsight? What do you think about that merge? Anything in hindsight that you would have done differently?
Probably would have done the same. I don't see how much different I would have done.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is where we start playing music. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so very much. Well done, West, for third place in this competition. You won all your matches right up until that semi-final. It's,
Well played,
I
Wes.
think
That's
same. Signore, you were very lucky because you had lost a match along the way, and then you came.
I got knocked out in
with
my
a-
very first match. Yeah.
There we go. And then Second Life brought you back. So a lucky streak for you. Not everybody had that privilege.
And
Definitely.
you were randomly joined for that. So thank you, guys. I'm going to bring in the winners now. I'm going to chuck you guys out. Thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
very
Well
much.
done, you two.
We'll chat
Thank you,
to
Bear.
shortly.
Thanks.
All right, Scout, you're live.
All
Venom potentially is back. So he's back. So we're going to pull in the winner. Welcome.
All right. So
Hello,
we got
hello, hello.
Scout. We have Scout and Venom
Hello.
after a harrowing fight. Venom just really working for every degree there. Venom, what are you thinking off the merge first fight? How are you approaching this fight with Scout?
Definitely aggressive. Like, basically, I'm not gonna say it on stream, but stick to where. So,
Yeah, stick to where. Venom's thinking stick to where, and he's coming out of the gates swinging. Scout, what are you thinking on the first merge? I mean, you're going against Venom. He's a known guy. You have something to prove, but you're a competitor. Where's your mind on the first merge?
Man, I don't even know. I can remember. I was so nervous. I was just thinking about trying to be slightly more aggressive on the first thing, but I made some massive mistakes there. Should have extended or something. I actually don't remember very well. I was just so nervous.
Yeah. And this is something that, I know Venom has a ton of experience with, right? Competing, being in a situation where you have something on the line. Venom, were you nervous at all? Was your heart pounding at all on the final fight, or where was your head?
well, so to be fair, to start off, I was mostly nervous before we even started to fight today. But like as we went on with the fight, so it gradually went down. So in the final fight, I was actually very calm. Like I was sweating the most against West because Jesus Christ, you've seen it all.
My
The fight
God.
lasted around 15 minutes, from what I know.
Oh yeah, it was a long fight, and he really made you work for it. But you were patient. You were patient. You managed your closure. You sat in the pocket. I saw you were managing your fuel. But seeing all of those hits, and the Hornet just keeps flying, it must have made you feel a certain way,
Well, yeah, like when I had some distance to him, so the model looked like it was all right. But then as I got closer, I see his right vertical stab missing, left flap. I was like, how is he still flying? Like, rip this damn wing off finally.
Yeah. I mean, he was missing the vertical stab. He was missing his, was it the flapper rod? Like, he was missing just about everything. But you really worked him for degree. It was an awesome showing. I think what most people would say is that the Hornet is a clear favorite in a competition like this. The Hornet's better. It can raid, it can radius, it can do everything. But we see it time and time again. Despite that, we see F-14s winning competitions, maybe not anymore. We see Mirages now winning this competition. What is your advice to folks that are not taking kind of the known favorite, the Hornet, when you're going into a jet like a Mirage? What advice do you give them when you're going against 18s?
Well, be aggressive of the merge because most people tend to pop under the pressure. So once you're slotted in on their 6, it's gonna be easier. Like you could see against West, like he was really struggling to shake me off. So be aggressive of the merge and to work from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, this is what was being said earlier, right? When you're in a competition, there's absolutely a psychological aspect to just having a gun aimed at you all the time. Venom put on a masterclass for the Mirage 2000. Thank you so much. Awesome fights. Scout, you also put up a great fight yourself. You got through a lot of fights. You got a lot of wins under your belt, and I'm sure you're going to go back and have things to work on. But thank you to both of you.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
what I do want to add is just before the event started, I asked how the competitors are feeling leading up to the first match. That the Scout's words were, and I quote, "I'm ready to get my ass kicked." Good job, Scout. You showed him.
Lol.
Well
I
done.
did not expect to get here.
Yeah, ready to get my ass kicked, Mr. Scout. No, thank you very, very, very much for entering. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the event. I'll contact you directly for the prizes. And yeah, best of luck for the future. We're going to do this more regularly, more frequently, because this was fun. Thank you so much, Cap. Over to you.
Brilliant. No, just really, I was, really just a spectator as usual. Really good fun to watch. Really good skill, so much skill, and also, it had a potential to get a bit stale sometimes when when you get the big matches where everyone's taking it super seriously. But also there was loads of really aggressive matches where people were just, that one circle straight away. So it was great to see a mixture of entertainment and really good tactical play as well. So well done, everyone, and also thanks to the commentators helping out, Stackhouse and
Scotty,
yes,
Stackhouse,
and
Cert,
yeah.
Cap, I'd also like to thank Kelso and Kingston for being phenomenal moderators for this event. They kept the competitors happy in the waiting area the whole time. And then, obviously, a massive thank you to all the competitors for entering, and I hope they had a fun time. Wouldn't have happened without them.
Brilliant. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.